I know that I made a rant on Playmobil the movie, but I'm going to make this rant with more details. Anyways, enjoy. Playmobil the movie? What the hell? More like Crapmobil the failure. Oh my god, this movie sucks. This movie is a huge ripoff of the Lego movie, which was way better than this. Now, I'm going to tell the reasons why I hate this movie in my opinion. The entire film is nothing but a blatant ripoff of the Lego movie, and its sequel shamelessly copying not just the concepts, but even story elements, tones, certain characteristics of the protagonists, and set locations. And unlike the Lego movie, which managed to tell an excellent story and message, Playmobil, the movie itself is purely an advertisement for Playmobil products. Except, it doesn't really advertise very well either. The Lego movie showcased the rebuildable, interchangeable, and customizable nature of Legos, but Playmobil has no such qualities, and the film doesn't really get into what makes Playmobil figures and sets unique from other toy lines, either. False advertising. In the American release, the poster shows Rex Dasher in the front, which makes it look like that he was going to be the main protagonist of the film, but he does not appear until later in the film, with Marla as the actual protagonist. The combination of animation and live action is rather pointless, considering that we never get to see anything shot in live action after the first 10 minutes until the very end. Marla is unlikable as a protagonist. The songs, aside from Run Like the River, are generic and suffer from formulaic lessons and meanings. They are also shoved in at the last second. This is most apparent with songs like Brothers in Arms, all of which do nothing but describe what is currently happening on screen. Charlie, Marla's brother, is a Viking in the Playmobil world, which is ridiculous because in real life, he is just a child, and even sounds like one. One could argue that it is because he grabbed a Viking figurine before entering the world, but even that doesn't make much sense since Marla still looks the same as she did in the real world. The fairy godmother character only exists to sing a musical number that doesn't even match the scene and only serves as soundtrack fodder. The movie begins with a massive tonal problem, as it goes immediately from Marla singing a cutesy little musical number to finding out her parents died, with no time to breathe. On the topic of the Playmobil world, there is nothing in that world that feels anything like a Playmobil product. Everything seems like reality, and even the Playmobil figures feel more like human beings than actual figures. The exhibit in a toy museum, in which the world is set, is never specifically said to be one based on Playmobil, it just mostly has Playmobil sets. The way Marla and Charlie enter the Playmobil world is dumb, and it is never even explained how or why the lighthouse in the toy convention is magical and only transports them. The figures are supposed to be plastic, but animals such as horses have realistic fur. Actual Playmobil figures do not have bendable arms or legs, and after Marla lands in the Playmobil world, she struggles with moving around for a while, but once she sees her brother, she suddenly starts moving like a normal person, with bending knees and elbows, as does every other character in the Playmobil world, and the real-life figure's articulation, or lack thereof, is never brought up again in the movie. Unnecessary pop culture reference of Ghostbusters, with Ghostbusters Ecto-1 car. The deaths of Marla and Charlie's parents are never brought up again after a single moment. The different areas within the Playmobil world are all the different themes the company produced sets for, such as Western, Viking, medieval, etc., which are all very generic and uninspired. Some are passed through without any comment on. As mentioned in number 1, the fact that the movie is based on Playmobil is mostly treated as an afterthought since the animated world's treated mostly like any other animated world in contrast to the Lego movie, which took full advantage of the limitless nature of the toys. It is filled to the brim with unfunny jokes that make absolutely no sense. At times, they'll make jokes even in the most unnecessary situations. Some plot elements are never explained, such as how Marla got the gold in the first place and the aforementioned lighthouse mystery. The plot is inconsistent. At first, it is about two people dealing with Playmobil, then Marla, the sister, has to rescue her brother. She meets up with some random guy who suddenly becomes one of the main characters, and from there, it continuously switches up genres, making it extremely confusing. Dated references, such as the floss dance. And that's basically how the movie is. And look at the ratings what this movie got. Stupid. Right? I don't know who likes or hates this movie, so I'm gonna leave it be. So screw Playmobil the movie. And screw Max Steel. Godzilla vs. Kong is 73,563,663 times better than Playmobil the movie. End of rant.